Welcome to episode 178 of the Irresistible You podcast. Today is the day after Valentine's Day, and it's a timely episode because I want to talk to you about the concept of time and how, the time is going to pass anyway, right? So, what are we doing? And we can count on some of the same things to happen every single year. So, for those of you that are listening that are in the middle of your chocolate heart eating binge, who are currently, binging away on all of your chocolate hearts, this episode is really for you because I want you to hear this. Now, we're just coming off of Valentine's Day. It's a big holiday with candy and chocolate. And let me just be very clear and very blunt right now. Those chocolate covered hearts that you are eating are the exact same chocolates that were available during Christmas. They were just shaped like a Christmas tree. And those chocolates are the exact same chocolates that were also available in November during Thanksgiving. They were also available in October, shaped like a pumpkin. Okay. And they're also available 365 days of the year, shaped as their normal shape. So the panic that you feel where you see all of the chocolate and the pretty hearts and the pinks and the reds and all the things, and you have to have it. And if you don't get it now, you're never going to have it again. That is some made up bullshit in your head that we have to change, and we have to rewrite the story around that. Okay. Because that's what happens, right? You see the chocolate, you see it. It's like, you just feel like this panic of like, oh my God, I got to have it. There's so many pretty things, and I'm never going to get this again if I don't do it now. And the truth of it is, that is not correct. It may not be packaged in a pretty red heart, but it's the exact same product that is available to you 12 months of the year. Okay. And here's what we know, right? Here's what we know for sure. Valentine's Day is going to come every single February on the 14th, every single year. That is a guarantee. That is something that we can count on. We also know that every single year, right as the Christmas rush starts to end, I have seen this stuff out on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve, they start hiding. Look for it next year, guys, if you've never noticed this. They start to hide pink and red shit in between the Christmas sections as things start to empty out, right? It is absolutely insane the way the retail world forces and pushes this shit on us before we're ready to do it. And they want the time to be rushed and pushed and create this mayhem and this chaos that translates over to you as someone who's an emotional eater of like, oh my God, I got to have it now. I got to eat this. I got to get all the hearts. I got to get all the candies. Because if I don't do it now, I'm going to have to wait a whole nother year to have this again. And that's just not true. Even think about Thanksgiving. Everybody thinks that the foods that they eat on Thanksgiving, that it's like this one day of the year. And the truth is, if I wanted to make Thanksgiving dinner tonight, what's stopping me from doing that other than I hate cooking? Like, what is stopping me from going down to my kitchen and making all of the foods that we think are only available during these holidays? So you've got to get out of your own head with this shit, like thinking, oh my God, it's a chocolate heart. Okay. And that's the same chocolate heart that was a pumpkin a couple months ago back in Halloween. Okay. And that chocolate heart today is going to be some kind of shamrock shit, as all that's coming out now. Then it's going to be an Easter egg. Then it's going to be the same shape that it is for the rest of the year. Okay. So what I'm trying to get the point across to you today is that these things are not surprises. This is behavior that you have probably been doing the entirety of your life of, oh my God, a chocolate heart. I better eat all the chocolate. If I don't eat it now, I'm never going to get it again. No. Okay. What we need to understand is that every single year, we know we're going to have these holidays. We know we're going to have certain birthdays in our lives. We know we're going to have certain celebrations. And we have to stop acting like it's a surprise that it's happening in the first place, because you know that it's coming. And so, how are you going to prepare yourself so that you don't keep setting yourself up to fail time and time again when these holidays roll around? And that leads me to that concept of the time is going to pass anyway. So, how are you spending it? Are you going to spend the time binge eating a bunch of chocolate hearts? Or are you going to start figuring out how to enjoy yourself, how to have one or two of those things, and then move the F on with your life? Because either way, whether you're sitting in your house crying, binging, your stomach's hurting because you're eating so much sugar, whether you spend your day like that or you spend your day going, I've had one or two, I'm good, it's time to move on, throw the rest in the trash. Oh my God, yes, throw it in the trash. Either way that you do this, the time will pass anyway. And the cycle will keep repeating itself, because now we're rolling into chocolate Easter eggs. And these are the same chocolate Easter eggs that were cut from an apple that were cut from a heart for Valentine's Day. Okay. The holidays will come at the end of the year like they always do. So you can enjoy yourself, you can indulge, you can have these things, but at what expense? Are you going to have one, enjoy it, and move on with your life? Or are you going to hoard and binge every single chocolate heart that you can get your hands on until you're so disgusted with yourself that then you're doing the whole crying on the floor, crying in the bathtub, telling yourself, oh my God, I'll start over tomorrow. And you know what a lot of y'all are going to do? Because February is a short month. You're going to say, I'll start over on March 1st. Like, DM me on Instagram if you had that feeling like, I'm just going to start in March because whatever, there's 2 more weeks. God forbid I could throw these chocolates away. And so here's what I want you to think about. March is coming, right? In 2 more weeks. Are you listening to me right now? In 2 weeks, it is going to be March 1st. And roughly 3 weeks from that date, it's going to be the first day of spring officially. What I can tell you here, where I live in Virginia Beach, it's 70 degrees today, the day after Valentine's Day. We're still in that period where we've got 70 degrees. The weekend, it's going to be like 40 something. Of course, that figures, right? So we're still in that phase. But what I'm trying to get across to you is spring is it's here. It's basically in the air. I can hear the birds. They're annoying AF in the morning. The squirrels are going crazy out in my backyard on the trees. It's getting darker later. Thank God for that. But the little sign, if you start looking around and you start waking up and looking, the signs are there. There's the little hints of spring popping out. And if you're not paying attention, which when you're zombie walking through life and when you're zombie eating through life, you're not paying attention to these little subtle changes. And then you're going to have a freak out moment in about 2 to 4 weeks. You're going to start freaking out because it's going to be hot, depending on where you live. I know for me, by mid to late March, it's going to probably be pretty warm here. And it's going to be skirt and shorts weather. Okay. And then we're rolling. It's going to be April, May. Here comes the summer. And are you going to still be sitting in the same position, feeling sorry for yourself, not nailing your goals, not getting your weight to where you want your weight to be, not loving what you see in the mirror, all because you thought some chocolate fucking hearts were more important than your own happiness and peace? And that's real, okay? Because the time is going to pass anyways. How are you choosing to spend the time that you have? How are you choosing to spend that time? What are you going to do? Are you going to sit around and feel sorry for yourself and be miserable? And then 2 to 4 weeks from now, when you need to put some shorts on so that you cannot sweat to death outside and like you're going to be hating yourself for where you still are? How are you going to spend your time? How many years have you repeated this same cycle of like hating yourself on every single holiday and telling yourself it's going to get better, but then not taking the action and the steps to make things different? Nothing changes until you decide you want to change. And so this podcast today, this is your wake up call to understand we are now a month and a half into 2023. And we all say it every single year. Oh my God, where did the year go? I don't know. I don't know where it went. Can't believe it's New Year's Eve already. Can't believe it. One of the exercises that I talk to you guys about, and I've said this on so many episodes, and I think it's such a powerful exercise, is visualizing that end of the year celebration, New Year's Eve. Visualizing you looking in the mirror, getting ready to go out for New Year's Eve. And how do you want to feel when you look in the mirror? How do you want to feel when you see yourself? If you are cringing at the idea of where you currently are because you're not happy in your body, you're not happy with your life, you're not happy with yourself, then the time to do something about that is today. It's now. It's not at the next meal. It's not tomorrow. It's not Monday. It's not on March 1st. It's today. You need to start doing things today in order to change what your future self really wants. And my future self, think about what, like, ask yourself too, like, what would my future self say to me right now? And she'd probably say, bitch, you need to stop eating all those hearts because you have goals. And if you want to be where you want to be by this time by the end of the year, then you need to make some habit changes. Okay. And free your mind knowing that these things that you're currently obsessing about with the chocolate and the candies and all this, it's not held hostage for February. It's not held hostage just because it's Valentine's Day. When you know that you have access to something anytime that you want it, even though it might seem like by thinking that way that it would like open the floodgates of you eating it every single day, it actually does the opposite because it takes away that panic and that rush of like, oh my God, I got to have it now. Right? So how are you going to spend your time? Because the time is passing. The time doesn't give a shit about how you feel. The time doesn't care what you weigh. The time doesn't care how many promises you made to yourself, because the time is just the time and it's going to continue to tick by and it's going to continue to pass. So how are you choosing to spend your time? Because that's up to you. It's completely up to you how you're choosing to spend that time. So you really have to get honest and you have to get real with yourself. And while that heart and that chocolate, and Lord knows them Lindt truffles, because y'all know me and some Lindt truffles, okay? And here's what's funny, side note, okay, with the Lindt truffles, I like the milk chocolate. They're my favorite. And they come in a red bag. So we can say, oh my God, it's Christmas time, girl. We got the red bag. And then we can say, oh my God, it's Valentine's, girl. We got the red bag. They come in a red bag 365 days of the year. So I don't need a special occasion to go get me some Lindt truffles. Okay. So, I want you to think about this. Okay. What is more important to you? A chocolate heart or your happiness? A chocolate heart or your peace of mind? A chocolate heart or you creating the life that you crave and deserve? What is more important to you? Because on a very simple level, you are allowing a piece of chocolate that is shaped like a heart or shaped like a pumpkin or shaped like a Christmas tree. You are allowing a piece of chocolate to control your destiny and your future. How fucking ridiculous is that when you really think about it? When you really sit here and you really think about it, how ridiculous is that, you guys? And that's at a very simplistic level. We know that there's a lot more to uncover underneath of it's just a piece of chocolate, because you're using that piece of chocolate or pieces of chocolate, let's be real, to soothe or avoid or whatever something in your life. You are using that as a coping mechanism because you haven't found another outlet to replace what you think the food is doing for you right now. And the truth of it is, the food isn't doing anything for you in terms of the junk food, right? Like, it's not doing anything for you. What it is doing for you is it's keeping you stuck in this cycle. You are allowing a piece of food, of chocolate that looks like a heart. You are allowing it to control your real potential in life. And there is nothing sadder to me than living a life with unused potential. There's nothing sadder than that, to go your entire life dreaming of who you, like, wishing and dreaming who you could have been. You have a dream, you have goals, you have things that you want to be in your life. And that's where it comes in, where it's not just about a piece of simple chocolate, right? Like I said, on a very simplistic level, that's what's going on. But when we dig deeper into that, you are allowing this piece of chocolate to take you away from your goals and your dreams. Because when you don't like yourself, when you don't love what you see in the mirror, it's not just about, well, I can't fit into the outfit that I really want to wear. Oh, I can't wear the jeans that used to fit me. What it's about is you letting your hopes and dreams and goals shrivel up and die because you don't like yourself enough and respect yourself enough and love yourself enough to put you first. So you allow the goals that you have, the dreams that you have, to die. So, we see this all the time. It's giving up a career, it's giving up a business idea, it's giving up a promotion, it's giving up starting a family, it's giving up spending time with your kids or getting in the picture with your kids and your family and your friends. Every single time you don't say yes to those things, you're cutting yourself out of your own life. You are literally cutting yourself out of your own life. When you don't get up there in the picture with your kids on Valentine's Day, girl, I was taking pictures last night with my kids. I was a hot mess. I was like, you know what, though? I'm not going to delete this because this is a memory. This is me with my children. I won't have these one day. They will. They will have these pictures to look back on, and they won't care about the double chin or the skin hanging out the side of the tank top that I was seeing. They're not going to see that. They're going to see mommy and how much fun we had together. And when you don't get in the picture, you are literally deleting yourself out of your own life. It's like you've become this ghost memory that is not in the photos, that is not in the videos, that is not present. And how is that going to make you feel when your children look back and it's like you were this ghost? Right? So same thing, not even just pictures, but like not getting out and doing things, hiding away inside your house, not doing activities, not going to events, not taking your kids out to the park because for God's sake, somebody might see your legs. Stop living your life for people that don't give a shit about you. Stop living your life for people that don't even know who you are. Stop living your life for inanimate objects like chocolate hearts. Stop living your life for the fear of what some asshole might think about you who doesn't know you. Who cares? Honestly, every time I talk about this topic, I get so like fired up because I don't know how else to shake you and tell you that you're wasting your life away. You are literally wasting your life away. Because I don't know if you're aware, but like we don't get Valentine's Day 2023 ever again. It's gone. It is gone. So, how did you make the most of it? What did you do? How do you remember that day? Because it's gone. You only get so many of these days, and none of it is promised. None of it is guaranteed. None of us have any idea if we're going to be here next year. So, it's time to start living, and it's time to stop just existing. It's time to start thriving, and it's time to stop just surviving. I would much rather at the end of the year when everybody's going, "Oh my God, I don't know where the time went." I want to go, I know where it went. It went fast, but it went fast because we were doing so many cool things. I accomplished this and I did this with my kids. We went on vacation here and I was able to save this much money and I was able to do this. I want to be able to say, I know why the time went fast. I know where it went. Because whether you're miserable or whether your life is full, the time still passes. So, how are you going to choose to fill that time? How are you going to choose? Okay. And what are you going to start doing to feel better about yourself? If sitting around binging on chocolate is not making you feel better about yourself, then, well, yeah, maybe like we should make some changes there. The first couple pieces are cool. They taste good. It's nice. It's a nice indulgent. Now let's move on with our life and figure out what we really want to do. Cause, yeah, I mean, it's already in the stores. The Easter stuff is everywhere. It's all over the place. So the same things that you're eating now are just shaped like Easter eggs or bunnies or whatever the hell. Okay. And I don't know about you, but I'm not sitting here trying to let a bunny that's made out of chocolate control my life. Mm-mm. It's time to get our shit together. It's 2023. And I want you to ask yourself, if not now, when? If not now, when? Do you have an answer for that? Because if you keep saying tomorrow, 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 how many times have you said tomorrow? How many years, collective years, do you have saying tomorrow? So, if not now, when? And, there's a lot of work that has to happen in between there, but this is really a wake up call for you guys to decide, am I going to keep doing the same shit that I'm doing? Acting shocked and surprised when Easter rolls around, acting shocked and surprised when spring rolls around and it's hot all of a sudden, and now it's bathing suit weather, and I'm going, "Oh my God. Oh my God. How did I get here again? I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't have been all those chocolate hearts I was binging on back in February. Couldn't possibly have been all the shit I ate in Christmas time. Nah, couldn't have been that. I don't know how I got here again because I'm trying really hard. Because that's the other thing we do, right? We tell ourselves that we're trying. Mm-mm. No. You don't get to say that you're trying until you're actually trying and having concrete data for you to look at. So if you're not journaling, if you're not writing down your food, if you're not writing down your thoughts and feelings, you don't get to pretend and live in the denial world that you're trying, because you're not trying. You have a fantasy that plays in your head about how you try, because you tried for like a day. So you have this fantasy reel that plays about how you've tried so hard and you just can't do it and blah, 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 blah. So Yeah, I don't know how much else I can say about that because this just gets me like fired up. It gets me ranting. And I want to shake every single one of you and just have you understand that like the time is going and it's going, 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 going. And the busier you are, the older you are, the more obligations you have, even though the time doesn't change, the speed of it doesn't change. It sure as hell feels that way, doesn't it? Right? Like the summertime when we were kids felt like, oh my God, it felt like an eternity, right? School felt like an eternity, the school day. And then you get older and your work day and you have all these projects that have to get done by 5 o'clock. And then you have these activities and these goals and these projects and blah, 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 blah. It's like there's not enough time in the day. How am I going to get it all done? And so when you're having these moments, I want you to ask yourself, how do I want to spend my time? How? And is this worth it? Is this, in that moment, it might solve something for you. Like, oh, I just feel so much better. I just ate all that chocolate. I feel so good. And then as soon as it's gone, you don't feel good. You feel the guilt. You feel the shame. You have the inner fat bitch battle going on inside your head. And that is not solving anything in the long term, even though in that moment you feel like it's solving something. It's truly not. So I don't know how much else I can say about that, you guys, other than just go live your life and stop worrying about what other people think about you. Stop allowing this stuff, this candy, this chocolate, this food to dictate how you're going to spend your life, how you're going to live your life. And instead, you need to operate from the place of your future self and what you would need to do in order to become her. So that exercise of like thinking about the end of the year and how you want to look and feel when you see yourself in the mirror. And based upon that, you reverse engineer the process to get there. Because the process starts now. It doesn't start a week from then. It doesn't start the day before. It starts now. Okay. All right. So that's all I have today. If you love this episode or any episode in the podcast, please head over to Apple Podcast or your podcast player of choice and leave a rating and review. I will continue this conversation with you all inside of the free podcast discussion group on Facebook. Until the next time, stay irresistible. Bye, guys.